What's good, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Smokin and Grillin with me, AB. Now, I know you done seen that thumbnail and you done read that title. Listen, if you've been following me for a minute, you know I do everything on the meaty side. Listen, today I'm gonna show you guys just how easy it is to make a meaty, lasagna. Super easy. And I want you guys to think about this. Let's just think about lasagna, right? When I think about lasagna, I think about spaghetti, but with a different, noodle. And check it out, it got that cheese. Hey, with that being said, come on in here and take a look at these ingredients right here. As you can see, it's not a whole lot. But look, this might be a little different. I'm gonna be using some of these provolone, slices for some of the cheese. I got fresh grated cheese, more cheese, salt, pepper. Look, we got pork, and then we got ground beef, right? This says 80-20. You guys can make it out of 90-10, that's cool. I like to use it on a leaner side, but you know what? I always keep this, and I didn't think about having no lean, super lean meat. So if I got any extra grease or whatever, we're gonna strain that. Let's talk about these lasagna noodles. Now listen, when I make it, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, and look, I want you guys to take a look at the end of this video, look at the iCard, and I put it at the end, right? These are, you have to, cook these noodles, right? But for me, what I like to do is I like the no cook kind. You put them down, you let everything cook. You know why? Because this channel is all about simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. Hey, with that being said, you've seen all of this, right? You can use marinara, spaghetti sauce, whatever you would like to do. It's really these ingredients right here. That's what's gonna just raise this up and get that flavor you want. And I wanna say this, I always, anything Italian, I'm gonna be honest with you, anytime I gotta use olive oil, this is what I use, you guys. I use branch and vine, look, infused garlic olive oil. This right here, this is fire. You guys gotta have some of this in here. We got several different bottles you can use. You could use garlic, basil, whatever. We're gonna go ahead and get everything started. I'm gonna use my Dutch oven. Why? Because we're gonna have a lot of, of our sauce in here. And I don't want it to come over the top or have to stir it gingerly, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and set this on medium-high heat, right? We're gonna let this build up a little heat. And then as always, like I told you guys, this branch and vine, these infused olive oils, I love them. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put a couple tablespoons in here right now. Listen, I understand that we're using pork and ground beef, and I told you I got 80-20. The 80-20, what that's gonna do is render down its own fat also. But listen, we wanna give it a nice base. We're gonna start with that right there. We're gonna infuse it with that and this. Okay, so look. Oh my goodness, that right there is fire, folks. Just to smell that infused olive oil, that's the way to go. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and just add it. Now look, I wanna add it away. Don't just drop it in here. As you can see, it's nice and hot. Now what you see me doing is I'm just breaking it up. I just want to get, maximum coverage on the bottom, and I'm gonna let this cook, folks. Once this cooks, then we'll start flipping it over and breaking it down. Okay, so look, now would be a good time for you guys to cook your pasta down, right? I'm gonna get these tongs and I just want to handle them and make sure I'm careful with them, right? 8 minutes, we just want them to be al dente. I use a baking sheet and we just lay them right here, right? We'll just do just like that. Now, I'm not gonna bore you guys. I'm gonna just tell you, you wanna do this and you just want to dry out, Okay, so look, as it's starting to cook, obviously it's gonna turn brown, right? So look, I'm just doing a little break up here. Now, you remember all of our dry seasonings? Check it out. We're just gonna sprinkle it in here just like this. Right, and now we just gonna mix. This right here is gonna be some flavorful and meaty, lasagna. Now, for those of you guys that don't do the pork, obviously you could have just did 2 pounds of, just the, ground beef. And for those of you guys that want to do something different, don't forget about, hey listen, I done had chicken lasagna, turkey lasagna. I'm gonna let it continue to cook. We got it, oh man. Just that right there, this is how you know it's gonna be fire, folks. Okay, so you can see, I just lay them out like this. Look, they already cooked, and so they can halfway, dry out, and these are already ready. Cause look, the rest of it's gonna go fast. If you guys didn't know, lasagna is so easy. To me, it's like just making a hamburger. Okay, so you see how that's cooking down. You can see it rendered, but we're gonna get rid of some of that, right? What you wanna do is you wanna get your salt, and you wanna get your pepper. Now, if you guys been following me for a minute, I like to tell you, you can't put enough black pepper in here. So I'm just gonna keep going until my arm gets tired. Hey, just the aroma from all of this coming up, this is perfect right now. A lot of meat, right? So I'm gonna give it a couple of generous pinches of salt, and that will probably do it. If anybody else need any salt, they can, you know, put some on their individual pieces, you know? But that right there, if you're watching your salt intake, this is gonna do it. Now I'm gonna turn this down on low, and we're gonna move to the next part. Okay, so look, I just drained off the fat. As you guys can see, look at that right there. You can hear it. I got heat under here. I went back with that medium high heat, right? So now it's time for us to add whatever sauce that you guys are using. You know what I mean? We doctored this up really, really nice. We just want to have the right tools for the job. I want to get all of this out. Everybody know once we get it out, I know a lot of times we put a little water in there, put the cap on, shake it, and then pour it in there, right? There we go. Come on. Okay, so got that in here. Now what I want to do is just mix it up, right? Remember in the beginning I talked about spaghetti, right? You see how it's coming in. This is how I like my spaghetti, you know? But I like to make my sauce, you know, from scratch. I done made it. I'll put some links in here so you guys can take a look at it. It's up to you. But remember, we just keeping it simple. We looking for a good meal that's over the top, that's easy to make. Not only easy, but fast. Right? So now I want to go ahead and let this come up to a simmer. Okay, so while we letting this come up to a simmer, really what it's doing is just heating up, you know, our sauce and mixing everything together, right? So while that's happening, that's on its way. Let's go ahead and take our ricotta. And let's just go ahead and add this, you know, to a bowl. What you want to do is you want to mix this. We're going to add this egg, right? I'm just going to break it up first. And now I'm just going to give this a whirl just like this. We just want to get it mixed up. Now, once you got it all mixed up, like you see right here, look at this right here. We're already coming up to a simmer. You see that? So look, I'm gonna reduce this down to like low. We just wanna keep it nice and hot. Now, guess what, folks? It's assembly time. Now for the good part. Now we're gonna do the assembly. So listen, I don't need to spray this. Why? Because I'm gonna take some of this meat sauce and I'm gonna put this down on the bottom, right? So we'll just do it like this, right? Then we just want to make sure it spreads. You could just use the back of the, now I should have probably said this. Look, 13 by 9 works great. I should have said that from the very, very beginning. Now you guys can see just how meaty this is, and you can see that why, this will give you an explanation with your eyes why it won't stick, right? So we just put a little layer. It's probably like about 1/4 of an inch thick in this right here. But a 13 by 9 is what you want. Now, you see my noodles back here, they already done. I'm gonna go ahead and bring these in, and we just put these in just like this. 13 by 9 square dish probably be the best. I'm gonna tell you guys why, because then you won't have to do any of this tearing or nothing like this. But for me, I have to do that. Why? Because for one, I like this little dish that I have, you know? So we'll just put that in there like that. And then I'm gonna save this off to the side. I'll show you why in just 1 second. You guys can tear it, cut it, use scissors, however you wanna do it. But if you're using a 13 by 9, like a rectangle dish, everything will just come out pretty much the way you want it to be. But this is the way I'm gonna do it just now. Okay, so we got that done. Now look, I'm just gonna take 4 slices of this provolone and just add it there, here, here, and here. That's good right there. Look, when this melt, that tie them noodles together, right? Now, we'll just come over here like this, and then we'll start adding this. So what we're doing is just building layers. You all seen lasagna, so you know how it turns out. Now you start understanding why we got all the layers, right? But we're gonna make this have a whole lot of goodness in these layers right here. You guys make sure you don't put too much in there. I guess really you won't know until after you finally made it, you know, and it depends on the size dish that you're using. But this right here is how I like to see it. And check this out, we finna come with that mozzarella. Look, don't do like me. Anytime I work with cheese, I always end up putting way too much cheese. You know, we just wanna use about 1/4 of our cheese that we have, right? So that right there is gonna be enough of that. Now we're gonna do the same thing with this parm. You know what I mean? We just wanna kind of like dust it. About 1/4 of this would be good too. I know some of you guys saying, man, I want mine to be way more cheesier. You guys do your thing. I care more about the meat and the blend, right? So now I'll take my ricotta, Just give it another little whirl, just like you see. We just want to add a nice little layer to here too. I'm not gonna bore you guys, but we're gonna do the same thing we did down at the bottom, right? And again, folks, I'm doing it a little bit of a hard way, only because I wanted to use my nice, this is my good looking dish right here. So I'm gonna put a layer of noodles, then we're gonna go with some meat sauce, and then we just gonna go with the cheese, and we just gonna keep doing that till we get to the top. So as you can see, look, I got it all the way up here to the top, right? This is kind of like a lot. You know what I mean? 13 by 9 would have been better, especially because we know we got to put foil over the top. And I don't want to pull none of my cheese off, right? So look, I got a question for y'all. Tell me, you see the foil, this side, this side? How many of y'all know which way the foil is supposed to be? Let me know down in the comment section below. So look, I'm gonna just put it over here like this, and I'm not gonna like make it go, you know, I don't want it to just like actually touch my cheese. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cover it this way. And because of my dish is so full, what I'm gonna do is, which I've already done is, I already preheated my oven to 375 degrees. We're gonna let that stay in there for about 40 minutes. But I put a pan underneath the bottom. That way, you know what, cause I clean up my own. This way, when I put this in there, anything that bubbles over the top drops down in that pan. A little pro tip, folks. Okay, there it is, folks. Y'all tell me what you think about that there. That right there is gonna be fire. Look, so after 40 minutes, you take the foil off and then you go back in for about 10 minutes because what you wanna do is you wanna like melt that and get a little crust on the top, right? Super easy, hey, overly delicious, all of that. And you know why I know it's delicious? Because check this out. I don't even have to do that. Oh man, this is gonna be incredible. Hey, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this rest for about 15 minutes, and then we're gonna cut into it, plate it, and then we finna eat it. Hit it with the, you know, I guess we call them the money shots, right? So now I'm gonna go ahead and just cut this here. Ooh, my goodness. You see that? Oh, y'all probably didn't even see that. But when I pull this up, look at that. A little bit of that cheese pull. Oh yeah. This is where it gets tricky, folks. So now I'm gonna take this. Now we're gonna go down this way. And we're gonna attempt to get underneath it. Pull it up right here. Pull it up and see if we can't get that out like that. Ah, my goodness, folks. And that there is what I'm gonna call a piece of lasagna. Look at that. And then for all my people that's really into that presentation, let's just go ahead and get us a little bit more garnish. Okay, folks, so look, now it's time to just to get on in. I told you guys when I first started making this that I was already hungry. But I can tell you the ricotta, all the cheeses, I mean, this is just deliciousness on a fork. Now don't forget, we let it cool for about 15 minutes, right? Now, I don't know. The jury's still out. They got, you know, it's like a deadlock, meaning we got to go back, taste it again. But I can tell you this right now. The bite, you know, and that spiciness from that red, you know, chili flakes, oh man, that's just perfect. But for all you guys who like to have it a little bit hotter, you can go ahead and, I can say it'll take a double and just about anybody can eat it. Right now, it's just like plain, it's like a hint on your palate. Real nice. And the meat, for those of you guys who eat pork, you know, that beef and pork combination, that does it too. Hey, I was just supposed to take a couple bites, wipe my mouth, and then tell you guys, you know, what I thought about this, right? Hey, I couldn't stop. Had to just knock that whole thing down. All I can tell you is, listen, for this time of the year, lasagna hit right, folks. Hey, stick to your inside, warms you right up. Now, for all my meat lovers out there, listen, that beef You know what I mean? That combination of beef, it just, you know, that it's just a flavor. And then, you know, the pork, all of that, and then all of our seasonings, that would, if you ask me, it's still more traditional, like everybody probably start with that, but it's about the amount that you put in there to get the taste that you like. Hey, super simple, and I know a lot of people that kind of like stay away from it. Look, follow this video, make it this way, and then you guys can tailor make it how you want to, but I promise you, this got you in the ballpark. You can put this out for your friends and family. Now, with that being said, listen, if you're new to my channel, let me take this time to say, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, smash that subscribe button, and tell everybody out there, it's a channel out here that's simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. And guess what, folks? I'm out. Peace.